What's going on, guys? We are back once again, and I know this is a late review. Uh, I wasn't sure if I was going to be reviewing the second episode or now even the third episode of The Last of Us, and there are a lot of reasons why I'm kind of indecisive if I'm going to be reviewing episode by episode or if I'm going to be reviewing the season as a whole. Because honestly, I don't know how to feel about The Last of Us for the series. I really don't know. I mean, again, I am a fan of the game, but they are changing a lot of the series as a whole to, I notice, either fit their own narrative or to even make people feel better about the game or the show. Now, I will say that I did not like how they ended episode 2 with Tess dying the way she did, because I would prefer it if she got killed by rogue smugglers, or even, what however you call them, rather than getting kissed by some random infected and then blowing herself up, which again made no sense. I don't know why they did that, and they still didn't even show of how Tess originally got supposedly bit. We still don't know how she got bit. That is the main question out of a lot of things in The Last of Us, is how the hell did Tess get bit? We don't know. I'm really hoping that at some point somebody can even tell me, or even like say, hey, this is what happened. Now, I will say, on a side note, visually it looks amazing. I will say that. I will give it that. Visually it looks good. But at the same time, it's interesting on how they're taking the virus to be a plant-like type of virus, to where it grows and an infected can, if it messes with, I would say, almost like the hive, then it'll wake others nearby, and then it can just, you'll have a whole lot on you in a heartbeat. Now, honestly, I kind of like that idea, but at the same time, it still kind of doesn't make sense to me a little bit. But overall, I kind of like that idea. But again, I feel like that they're trying to change too much of The Last of Us now. Overall, episode 2, I didn't have too much issues with. Now, I'm going to go in episode 3, and before I say anything about episode 3, before I say anything, there are a lot of praise for this episode. There is also negative about this episode. I will say this: if you enjoyed this episode, that is fine. If you did not enjoy this episode, that is fine too. Now again, I did not like this episode because I felt like it focused too much more on Bill rather than on Joel and Ellie. And the reason why I say that is because, again, I understand the reason why they wanted to focus more on Bill, because they wanted to give him more of a backstory than what they originally intended for us, about meeting Frank and then them two having a relationship and growing, and how Bill was a survivalist and all this other kind of stuff. And a lot of people kind of did not like that. There's people that loved it, and that's fine either way to me. Most of the episode I just ignored because I honestly didn't really care about that. I was more interested about what Bill was doing as a survivalist. Like, how did he prepare? Because finding, different ways of how he made traps, how he built a fence, how he was able to make the town his own territory, how he was able to do that in the game. I always found that very interesting in the game, of how he was able to make his territory very secured, not only from infected, but from different ones that were trying to kill them, different, looters and stuff of that nature. Again, I passed up most of this episode because I just wasn't very interested in the Bill and Frank romance as a whole. That's just me. I did not really pay attention to most of it. It was, I guess, a different take. But we all knew, and again, it was already implied that Bill was gay. And there was a comment made of, like, Ellie finding his porn magazines, which was really funny. And then also how, asking, I think, Joel in the truck, like, why is this stuff so sticky? And then she just threw the stuff away, threw the magazine away in the truck. And that, honestly, it's a funny scene. It is. It's a very funny scene. We never knew what happened to Bill in the game. We assumed that either he died or he just kept going on as normal. So overall, this episode doesn't really do anything for me. It really doesn't take anything away from me either. I really don't care about the Bill character either way. I just don't think that it was really necessary. to show for Bill too much. I would prefer it if they would have went the game route and maybe extended it just a little differently, so that way we can maybe see the reason why Frank died the way he did in the game rather than the way he did this round. Same thing with Bill, if he just would have died maybe trying to help Joel and being the way that he was in the game. I could see him saying to Joel like, "Oh, screw you," or something of that nature, basically telling him whatever right before he died in a blaze of glory or something. That is honestly my take on it, but overall, like I said, I don't have a whole lot to say about these episodes other than it just, to me, it hasn't been really that entertaining. I'm hoping that the Last of Us is going to be more entertaining later on down the line. There's already been about different discussions for Season 2 that they're wanting to adapt the second game into Season 2 or another season. I'm hoping they don't do that because, again, not Season 2, but Last of Us 2 has a lot of mixed reactions. Again, there are things I like about Last of Us Part 2, but there's a lot of it I don't, and I'm praying they don't do that because that's going to piss off not only a lot of fans, but that's also giving a lot of fans like, okay, you want to change things we don't want changed, but the stuff we do want changed, you don't want to mess with. And I have to agree upon that. So, again, those are my thoughts. If you guys agree with them, that is fine. If you don't agree with them, that's fine too. And I'm also going to say this, if you're going to be one of those ones that's going to try to call me out and call me all kinds of this, that, and the other, you will be blocked and you will be your comment will be deleted. I don't have time to go back and forth with any kind of left or right side people. I don't have time to go up against woke nonsense or political agenda stuff. I don't have time for it. This is me giving my opinion. If you agree with my opinion, that's fine. If you do not agree with my opinion, that is fine too. We are all people at the end of the day, and if we don't like something, that's fine. We don't have to watch it, or we can ignore it, or we can skip over it. That's what I did. I skipped most of, like I said, episode 3. And it's not because, oh, you're homophobic or you're this. No, it has nothing to do with that. I did not find this episode entertaining to me. If the episode was not entertaining to me, then I think that's fine. If the episode was entertaining to you, then that's fine too. Again, I just don't think that this episode was entertaining to me. I skipped most of the other episode as well because it was not entertaining. So again, it's just most of those times, if you don't find something entertaining, you're going to skip over it, right? So that's what I did. So again, at the end of the day, it's my opinion. If you don't like it, well, go on to another channel. If you do like it, well, okay, that's fine too. But like I said, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything down in the description, down in the comments down below. All my links down in the description below as well. But also, at the end of the day, we're all Last of Us fans. We're all, fans in general. So let's just be kind to one another. And hopefully, there's going to be no issues down in the comments. And I'll see you guys as always on the very next one.